And we're live. Beers and Buffalo podcast, season 7, episode 6. Back at it again. Starting a little bit late. Technical difficulties. No surprise there.
It's always something.
There's always something, man. Coming off a short week here. Bills played on Sunday. 3 days off. We can do math.
That's right.
Get to play tomorrow night, Thursday night football, in another primetime game. And I know we already complained about the primetime games, how many we had this year.
I'm not complaining because I don't go to these games. The home games are tough for season ticket holders, especially when you work a full-time job. So I'm okay with it.
All right. Well, before we get into Bills, let's talk a little beer. I'll throw up here on the screen share. Jeff, what'd you bring us? I'll let you talk through it.
Let's see. I brought us some Where Else Would You Rather beer. It's a Kolsch by 42 North Brewing Company. I'm a sucker for good cans. This was a fun can. A lot of fans on this one. And it's a local brewing company, which is even better. We like to support local brewing companies. This is from East Aurora, New York, located exactly 9.1 miles from the Ralph. So
is that what it says on the can?
No, I looked that up. I looked that up. No, I looked that up. No, it says on the can.
Wait, does it say it on the
can? It says
okay.
It says it on the can, yeah.
I'm like, dude, you came in with some knowledge.
You know what they say. It's a Kolsch. Can't go wrong with a nice light Kolsch.
Smell, get a sniffer.
Decent pour. Cheers.
Cheers. It is light.
That's not bad.
It kind of tastes like a not sour, if that makes sense.
It does.
Like a sour that's not sour.
Yeah.
It's got like that kind of aftertaste like a sour has.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like I haven't had too many like just Kolsch's though, because we have that Genesee makes that pineapple one or whatever, the ruby red, the black cherry one I think they came out with. That I don't know. So I haven't had like a regular Kolsch in a while, and that's all it reminds me of is like a sour, but without the sour on it.
I don't really know what to rate this.
I don't know. I know this is. Here, let me top myself off here. What are we looking at?
While we're debating that, I just want to say hi to the girls. They should be watching. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, they got their homework done. You know,
that is important.
It's very important.
We get the homework done.
Got to get the homework done.
I don't know, man.
I'm not a fan of this.
Not a fan either.
I'm going to be honest with you. I like to be honest with our reviews.
I mean, and it's not the fact that it's light, because we've had plenty of light beers. This is the lightest one we've done in a while at 5%. Even this Waylander up here, this German Pilsner, it felt like had more flavor in it. And we actually rated that almost a 7. It's pretty high. Well, I did.
Yeah, I'm not overly impressive with this one.
I'm going to go ahead and give this a 5.2. I'm going low on this, man.
Yeah, I'm already in the 5s. I'll just go an even 5.5 on this one.
An odd 5.5.
It's an even number when you're getting getting your volume on the TV. It's got to be a 5 or 0, so it's an even number.
Gotcha. All right. I mean,
it
is what it is, folks.
Beer.
I wish I had more to tell you on this. Like,
for the price for 4 beers, it's not worth it.
No. What was the cost on this?
It was like $12 for a 4-pack. But I mean, if I'm paying $12 and get a 12-pack of Miller Lite, I know I'm going to enjoy those.
It's just like,
it's that weird aftertaste that's not sitting right with me.
It is. It's the aftertaste of it, but there's not even there's no flavor in the front end.
Yeah.
Where you would expect to pick up something, just kind of really muted. It's the most like regular beer I feel like we've had in a while. And then even the regular beers that I could think of were better than this. So unfortunately, 42 North, who I do like other beers by them.
They make some good beers.
Wasn't a good fan. Wasn't a big fan of this one. All right, we'll switch over gears here. Let's get into this Bills game. So, Bills defeated the Jets on Sunday afternoon, 30-10. It was a game where I felt like the Bills were in total control of this game, unlike the previous week, where we kind of had to play catch up. We dominated from start to finish, both sides of the ball, and even a bloody nose really couldn't stop the reigning MVP.
Broken nose too.
Was it broken? Did they confirm it?
They said it was broken. Yeah.
That's insane. James Cook led the Bills offense, 132 on the ground, 2 touchdowns. He had a 44-yard dash alone. Allen contributed with 59 more rushing yards, and I think this is not a career low, but definitely a season low of 148. Probably would be his lowest yardage of the year, passing yards.
Yeah, probably, especially considering if you said Josh Allen only threw for 148 yards.
You think we lost the game.
You would think we lost.
By a lot.
Yeah, but, our defense actually stepped up. We kept the Jets in check. It was just really nice to see that Josh didn't have to put a cape on,
Yeah, I like it. I was just going to say, didn't have to play hero ball. And this is why we paid Cook, right? We talked about this. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Run the ball with James Cook. He's getting chunk yards. He busted one loose for 44 yards. It just keeps adding up, and they didn't have an answer for James Cook that whole game. I like that. I like when we can rely on the run game and kind of alleviate some of that pressure off of Josh, because
Definitely.
We're going to need him later in the season. A bigger game. This is not to say this is meaningless, but it is kind of a meaningless game this early in the season.
Week 2, yeah, it doesn't even matter to the opponent. Even though it's a divisional
It is a divisional opponent, so I will say there's a little bit of weight on it, but this early in the season, I'm not going to say it's complete waste, but it's nice to give him a break on a game that you can use James Cook and just put the weight on his shoulders. But let's go back to that nose here. So I think it was 10-0. The Bills were up. Josh, he exited briefly first quarter. He got hit on a scramble. He said he admitted that he made the wrong read on the play. I think it was a read option or something, and he should have handed the ball off instead of keeping it. He goes to the sideline. Mitch Trubisky steps in, completes a 32-yard pass to your boy Joshua Palmer, and then he comes back in with gauze on his nose to start the second quarter. This is why Bills fans like Josh Allen so much, is just like the grit, the heart.
100%.
He's not going to come out of the game with a broken nose. Some quarterbacks, I'm not going to say most, but there are some quarterbacks that would. He's got that grit to him. He's got that I don't know, that buffalo in him. That's the best way I can tell you.
Yeah, you're not wrong. He's tough. He kind of reminds me of a hockey player. They go out, they get cut up, they go out, get their stitches, and come back in the same period. And he's got that toughness about him that, like you said, a lot of players probably wouldn't have. Yeah, especially because I'm pretty sure I saw they had to pop it back into place.
Yeah, they were on. I thought he was on the sideline a while, but he went out for only a couple plays. I think it was. I think they made the throw to Josh Palmer. They did a couple run plays, and then I think the quarter was ending, so he got a little break there. But I think they did. They had to pop it back into place. Dude's a warrior, man.
Yep. I was a little nervous before I knew what actually happened, that he's running off the sideline and waving Trubisky in. I was like, oh, what? Obviously, he looked okay physically, but I'm just like, wait a minute, what's wrong? Why are you running off like that? And then he showed the sideline. He's just pouring blood out of his nose. And shout out to Mitch Trubisky, coming in cold, not getting any warm-ups. It's not like it was the end of a quarter or they took a timeout and he got to throw a couple passes. Dude picked his helmet up, ran out of the field, and completed a dime to Josh Palmer for that 32 yards, which was sensational.
How do you get your nose broken in a helmet?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
I don't know about
because
that
that's what the face mask is supposed to be for. It's supposed to protect your face.
Unless it tilted down and the top of it crushed the bridge of his nose or something. If they were yanking down on it, I could kind of maybe see in that. But it's weird unless he got his hand in there and punched him in a nose. But that's not possible. So no, it's it was a weird situation. You don't see that type of injury, especially on a quarterback who's the least contacted player on the field outside of the kicking and punting team. Right. Granted, they'll take sacks, but you know what I mean. They're not running into the trenches at first. It was a not injury. We also were missing some key defensive players. Taron Johnson didn't play that game. Ed Oliver was out. But the defense still dominated. We held the Jets to just 154 yards total in that game, keeping them out of the red zone until late in the fourth quarter. I think that alone should be applauded. Going into that game, I was a little bit worried, especially in the run defense department without Ed Oliver. But the Bills held their own, man, on defense.
Yeah, it was nice to see that our depth that we have, that we signed up for, actually stepped up. And Joey Bosa looks like an absolute unit right now. I'm going to knock on this table, knock on wood, make sure I really hope this continues and he stays injury-free. But the defense just looked absolutely fantastic. I know the Jets aren't a great team, but they have a good running system.
Yeah.
You always got to keep an eye on Justin Fields. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen's still a good runner too. I know they kind of lean heavier on. Just said his name, Hall.
Hall.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. It's nice to see that we were able to contain them.
Yeah, we both thought it might be a little bit tougher of a matchup, divisional opponent. The Jets have a similar identity as the Ravens, mobile QB, good running back. But I think the difference was we got up early and often on them versus, I know we scored first in that Ravens game, but that was kind of it after that first score, and then we played catch up. We were in the driver's seat. It might have changed the game plan a little bit for the Jets and what they wanted to do, because I bet they wanted to keep running the ball. But playing, down the whole game, you have to rely on the pass game a little bit more. Justin Fields, not known for his passing ability, can do that, but I think it was more like they just had to switch up their whole game plan on this. They came in with run first. Didn't think they were going to get down that quickly either. And I think it kind of caught them off guard. Fields coming off, he had a promising Jets debut too. Home opener. He struggled to move the ball before leaving in the fourth quarter with a concussion, which I didn't even realize he had a concussion. I just thought they were getting shellacked and they subbed him out.
I thought so too.
I guess he was sacked by Joey Bosa, who we're hoping to hear more of his name this season. Tyrod Taylor, ex-Buffalo Bill, replaced Fields with 12:03 remaining in the game. Fields was only 3 of 11 for 27 passing yards and 49 rushing yards on 5 carries. Dude, that's like a weird stat. Like, I just feel like he didn't play the game. That's like some guy's first drive of a game.
Yeah, you're right.
That was his game. That was his whole game.
I didn't even realize he had more rushing yards than passing yards either.
I didn't realize he only completed 3 passes. That's actually insane to me. 8 minutes left. Comfortable lead. We put the backups in. Allen and the other starters were benched. Trubisky back in the game, and finished it up. The Bills cruised on. Divisional win. We move on to 2-0. So big win for the Bills. Divisional opponent. Well, first, big win against the Ravens, which is great because we're going to see them later in the year. Home field advantage automatically on that game. Then divisional opponent right off the bat. Get the Jets. Not to go too far in it, divisional opponent this week. So, 3 big games kind of in a row here that you kind of want to start off hot. And so far, 2-0, I think the Bills are doing the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that first game against the Ravens was mind-blowing. The Bills normally lose those games. You don't see them come back that often like that. Usually when they're down, you
don't see anybody come back like that, though. That was a crazy comeback.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 2 teams, I think we said it last week, teams were 277-0, leading by 15 points with less than 5 minutes to go, and they're now 277-1. So shows you how very little that happens. It never did until the Bills did it.
I talked about the yardage discrepancy here. The Bills outgained the Jets 247-78 in the first half.
Unreal.
It literally feels like a fake stat line, and Fields was limited to 2 of 8 of passing at that time for 25 yards. It was the first time the Bills had limited an opponent to 2 completions in the opening 2 quarters since New England in 2021, who was probably Mac Jones, right?
Yes.
That's 2 of 8 for 25 yards and a half.
Yeah.
And then he finished with just one more pass, and then he got hurt.
Was that the playoff game? When they beat him 44-10 or something?
I don't know. It might have been. It's got to be a game where they didn't score more than 10 points.
Yeah.
You would
assume. He only had 2 passing yards.
2 completions.
Jinx.
But yeah, 247. It was funny because I was talking to Cody over the weekend, and I sent him a screenshot of a college football game, and I forget what 2 teams were playing, and it was just the one, I don't know, it might have been Indiana versus Indiana State or something, and Indiana State might as well be just a D5 school or something, right?
Was that the 70-0 game?
Yes, I think so. It was they cruised on them, and I sent him a screenshot of the halftime stats, and the one quarterback had 250 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. The other quarterback had I'm not even joking, 8 yards and an interception.
Jeez.
I don't even think that's literally high school versus professional football. It felt like. So not quite as drastic, but that's what it feels like here. One team totally dominating, the other team not doing jack shit. Also, Trey White making his first appearance of the season, finished with the game with 3 tackles and a tackle for loss. Respectable.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't know. We didn't talk about it because I didn't think he was going to be back as soon as he did come back. I thought he was out for a few weeks at least. But
I thought he was just on the practice squad. I didn't think he was actually going to come in. That must have been because Taron Johnson was out.
And that could have been a reason too. But I know he was hurt, but I never heard any news after the fact, after White got hurt. During whenever, training camp or whatever, or the preseason, I'm sorry. And I never heard any update on his injury.
You know what? You're right. Now that you mention it,
I never heard any update on his injury.
We all were afraid it was an ACL or something.
Yeah.
And then ended up just being a sprain.
Okay.
I think, but they never really gave an official diagnosis, I feel
there wasn't even an update after the fact. I didn't even realize, again, maybe it just slipped, but I didn't even realize he was healthy again. And maybe they forced him in a little bit earlier because you're right, Taron Johnson being out. But he played on the outside across from Christian Benford in this game. And I'd say this was it's a good confidence booster. Not that he needs it, but a good, we'll say, easier game to walk into here, coming off a preseason injury, first time playing since, what was it, 2 years ago? When we cut Trey White?
I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, I think you're right. I know he played on the Rams and the Ravens last year, so
good,
2 seasons ago.
Good kind of way to ease back into it again.
It's a confidence booster too.
I think so. That's what I was saying. Confidence booster. Cole Bishop led the team with 5 tackles. Great, because we talked a lot of shit about him being not looking so great in training camp and in the preseason. Good to see that he was effective. Elijah Moore scoring his first touchdown as a Buffalo Bill. 4-yard rushing touchdown later in the game. So it was nice seeing, some guys that we didn't know what to expect from them before the season started actually start producing.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. It's like I said, we're very spread out everywhere. We're spreading it out on offense. We've got a lot of defensive players that are stepping up and making an impact on the game too, which is really nice.
I heard a lot of people complaining about penalties in this game. Now, I have up here the total penalties for both teams.
That's a lot.
11 penalties. There was 5 for the Jets for 35. The Bills had more penalties, 6 for 69 yards. So technically, the Bills actually had more penalties than the Jets. But I heard a lot about the Bills getting breaks. I think the penalties on the Jets were in more costly situations. A lot of third down penalties where it was about to be fourth and punting and new set of downs, first down. Those are drive killers, man.
Absolutely.
Well,
for the defense.
Yes.
For the defense.
They're keeping the drive alive.
It
you know what I mean.
the defense when they got to stay on the field more because they're already gassed. The Bills were driving down.
Exactly.
They're getting these penalties, and then it's they were one play away from, forcing the Bills to punt. Oh, here comes a little yellow flag. And then the defense has got to be pissed off at that point. It's okay, well, the one guy commits a penalty. The other 10 guys now they got to suffer and play some more. They can't get a breather. And it's much harder to play defense in the NFL than it is offense.
Bills dominating time of possession, almost doubling the time of the Jets here. This was an all-around slaughter here. 403 yards of total offense to 154, man. More than doubling their total offense. So I think it was overall a good win against a divisional opponent, and they're going to need that going into this next week against the Dolphins.
Yeah, going into next week, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
This coming week,
the
right. Bills get to kick off week 3 of the NFL and another home game under the lights at Ralph Wilson Stadium, even though it's not actually now, so call it that.
The Ralph.
The Ralph. Yeah, it's it's good. I think it's going to be electric there. A primetime game in Buffalo. The fans are absolutely going to be ready.
And I think this is the biggest rival. In recent, it used to, the Patriots too, but the Patriots were always whooping our ass. I think the Bills Dolphins were the biggest was the biggest rivalry within the division. Try saying that fast.
Yeah, definitely. I know what you're saying.
So we'll get into it then. So tomorrow, Bills are back home. Thursday Night Football. Dolphins have looked like the worst team, I would say, after their first 2 games here, 2 losses. And it's also apparent with the, I think, 11.5, 12.5 spread that's on this game at this point.
12.5 is what I saw last.
Yeah, I saw 12.5 on DraftKings. They got crushed by the Colts in the home opener, 33-8. They fell again to the Patriots last week, 33-27. Tua thrown 4 picks in 2 games. And their defenses look like Swiss cheese, giving up over 30 the last 2 weeks. And the Bills have scored over 30 the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, their offense, they had probably one of the best offenses in the league, 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. Might not even be that long ago. But now they're just a dumpster fire on offense. You take away Tua's first read, he just looks lost out there.
Yeah.
And Devin Achan's probably the bright spot out there.
Devon.
It looks like Waddle's going to take over the number 1 wide receiver. Tyreek Hill's probably going to be out of there before the end of the season. He'll probably get traded at some point. I don't think he even wants to be there. He made that abundantly clear in the offseason. Then
Absolutely.
And then backpedaled a little bit and took his words back. And I want to be here. I want to compete. I want to win the Super Bowl. This dude a couple of years ago said, I'm gonna score 2,000 yards, win the Super Bowl, then retire. Well, he didn't get 2,000 yards, and he's not even close to winning a Super Bowl anymore. So he might as well just retire. He can do one of the 3 things that he said he was going to do.
We're going to keep hopefully we can keep our takeaway streak here alive. We got a turnover in the last 2 games, forced fumble again. Yep. I'm not too sure if Ed Oliver is going to be back. I was trying to pull up the injury report here. Would be nice to get Ed Oliver back in the mix here again. A team with another good running back where we were able to hold Breece Hall in check last week and Braylon Allen, but Achane I think is a better running back than both of those guys. Breece is still good, but I think Devon Achane is at this point in his career better than Breece Hall right now. More explosive, quicker. They definitely use him more in the pass game, compared to Breece Hall for the Jets. And then vice versa, our run game, we got to keep that up. Cook averaging 6.3 yards per carry, Allen 9.8 yards per carry. Want to keep the run game alive here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't remember this. I actually got the alert earlier today from the Bills app. Ed Oliver and Matt Milano are already both ruled out for this week. It's tough, but we survived last week without Oliver. Matt Milano didn't play the entire second half last week, and we still...
How does he just constantly get hurt, dude?
It's a pectoral, too. It's not even... I don't even... how do you injure... I mean, I don't know. I don't know. How do you injure your pectoral? I see people do that when they're lifting heavy weights. You see those injuries when people, rip the pectoral off their bone. Hopefully, it's just a strain or a sprain. I don't know if you can sprain it. I know it's a muscle.
Taron Johnson, questionable. Here we go. Ed Oliver out. Matt Milano out.
Cam Lewis is questionable, and Shaq Thompson is also questionable.
Yep. So,
Jordan Hancock should be back this week. It looks like he was a full participant in practice all week.
Okay.
He's dealing with a shoulder injury, but the Bills only conducted a walkthrough practice on Monday and Wednesday, so realistically, the only practice they got was yesterday. So we'll see. Well,
if Shaq Thompson doesn't play and Matt Milano's already ruled out, that means Joe Andreessen will probably be in there.
Yeah, he played on, I'm pretty sure he played on, we saw him out there on Sunday, but you know what? To be honest, I didn't hear anything about Matt Milano until after the game. I just thought that they were just putting Andreessen in there because the defense just, the score was already up. It's okay, let's get the kids some reps,
I'm looking at their depth chart here, and there's some guys on practice squad apparently because we only have Dorian Williams, Terrell Bernard, and Joe Andreessen. We have 3 healthy linebackers.
Okay.
That makes no sense to me.
No.
So we might be pulling some guys off the practice squad here, but that means I'm pretty sure Joe will start then in place of Matt Milano if Shaq can't go. But hopefully we have some guys here because it looks like our depth is a little banged up in the linebacker core. I don't know if we could stick any of these other guys at linebacker here, AJ Epinaza, but yeah, we're a little bit banged up as usual. I'm showing here. Let me switch over my little screen share here. We're a little bit banged up here.
We're a lot of banged out.
Ed Oliver out. We got Ogunjobi suspended. Michael Heck suspended. Shaq Thompson questionable. Milano out. Cam Lewis questionable. I don't even know who this guy is.
Well,
Wade
Maxwell
Owens.
Hairston, you better know him.
Wait, Wande Owens, IR. Obviously, Maxwell Hairston out. Taron Johnson, Cam Lewis. It's this is crazy.
It's week 2, and we've got a plethora of injury. There's too many red injury reports up on that depth chart right there. Way too many.
Not what you like to see.
Not at all.
So, like I said, hopefully we'll keep our run game going. We've been very effective on the ground. Miami's O-line has been trash as well. Tua hasn't had time back there. I always say when we play Miami, keep a spy or keep a guy watching Tyreek Hill cross in the middle, watch him on these deep, got to play a little bit off of him. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Tua's got the time to go downfield. They haven't, I don't think, completed any passes, maybe a couple past 20 yards this season. They're not really taking deep shots. So if we can keep, Tyreek from getting that big chunk play, which is what we always try to say, the Bills defense, bend, don't break type of thing, where they're going to give up a big play. Just try to limit the big plays, I think. That's the best we can do.
If they get 1, I'm okay with it. 2, I'm okay with it. Like you said, the offensive line not being good. Mm-hmm. I think this could be a really good opportunity for Joey Bosa to, boost his numbers a little bit. And it's just one of those things where the defense is just going to have to, we're banged up, but we're still going to have to come through and, make these plays. And we got a pretty good week to do it this week when we've got an offensive line that's not very good. And then you got a quarterback that if he doesn't get his first read, he also isn't very good.
I'd love to know who's making the NFL analytics here, because it says Buffalo's a 76% chance to win the game.
I feel like that's actually very high, though.
It is
for a
high,
divisional game.
But the way that we've been playing and the way Miami's been playing, tell me this shouldn't be like 90, dude. I feel like it's almost like...
I don't think you'll ever see something that's at 90%.
We'll have to remember this. This might be the highest it's ever been. Over on this, 50.5, dude. I believe it. The Bills could score 40 themselves.
Yeah.
That's actually not bad. That could be an over. That's a high line there, but...
I'd almost take the under on that.
Remember that Lions game, dude, when it was like the under-over was like 58 or some crazy shit or something like that, dude?
And they went over like 80 points.
Yeah, they went over that. They went over that in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't know, it's tempting. Whenever I see 50, it's really tempting to hit the under on that. But the way 41 the first game, 30 last week, Dolphins giving up 30 plus both weeks.
I could see a scenario where it's almost the same outcome as last week, where the Dolphins don't get any real
30,
points.
10, 40 points. Yeah.
It was 30-3 with like 3 minutes left. And
it always comes down to game script. It's hard to tell. Like, if we get that comfortable league, we're going to kill clock, run the ball, see you later.
That's why I would probably lean more towards the under. I can see the Bills doing that. They go up early. If they're up 2 scores at the half, there's a really good chance we're just going to stick with the run game early in the third. If for whatever reason we can't score, I'm not even going to look at the Dolphins scoring. I'm going to look if the Bills can't score for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Then I could see, then they got to be more aggressive in the second half.
Well, home game, I think the offense will be okay.
The crowd's going to play a huge factor in
the
this
crowd
too.
Always plays a big factor in it. Home game, divisional opponent, primetime game again. I could definitely see this getting out of hand early, and if that does, you're right. It will be a repeat of last week. But if for whatever reason we can't capitalize, and the Dolphins do keep it close by halftime, we could see a maybe a shootout as the game progresses. If Miami can keep the game close, because there's no way I believe that the Dolphins defensively can hold Josh Allen to under 30. I just don't think they can. No. I don't think they have anybody on defense that really scares me enough. So I think we get our 30. Do the Dolphins get their 21?
Yeah, probably not.
That's tough.
Probably not. I don't think they do. I don't think
that's a lot. That's 3 touchdowns.
I'd be shocked if they get past double digits. I actually thought that I didn't even think the Jets were going to score a touchdown last week. I thought they were going to kick like 3 or 4 field goals.
I think we just it was the game was over at that point. It was one of those they just kind of gave up.
We had a majority of our backups on offense. They technically had their backups in on offense too. Tyrod Taylor wasn't the starter; he had to come in because of a concussion. But
so the Dolphins put up 27 last week against the Patriots in that loss.
But that's not a good team either, though. The Patriots aren't good.
No, that's true. I'm just saying.
And then they got shellacked by Indy, and Indy's probably a better team.
Indy's a good team this year.
Yeah, Danny Dimes. The resurgence of Danny Dimes. But I don't think Indy is as good of a team as Baltimore.
No.
So we're not going to.
You're right.
We're going to do a lot better against Miami and the Jets and teams like that before we give up any big plays.
This could be
big points.
I mean, the way the season's going, this could be a sweep of the division.
Again.
We might, the last game of the season is the one. Who is it? The Jets or Patriots or somebody? I think it's the Jets.
Yeah, because we opened Ralph Wilson Stadium.
That's where I see us. That's where I could see us losing that one. Although it is going to be red helmet night or day.
It's the last night. It's the last game. And do
you think they'll probably flex that to 4, dude? I feel like they're going to flex that game to later. It'll probably be a Saturday 4 o'clock standalone game on Saturday. They do those at the end of the year. Oh yeah, they do.
They do those at the end of the year where you get a 1 o'clock and a 4 o'clock on a Saturday.
I got tickets to that game, so
we'll see what they flex it. Who are you going with?
I don't know.
I'm free.
Okay.
I actually don't even know the date of it, but
nobody knows the date of it.
Well, it's on that set. It's either Saturday or Sunday.
It says it's flexible. So as of now, it's Sunday. I think the 4th or something, or the 3rd.
Okay.
January 3rd.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty free that day. We'll do a live Beers and Buffalo podcast
from the parking lot.
From the parking lot. That would be kind of fun.
We start early.
Set up the GoPro.
We start early. We get there at like 10 a.m.
Yeah. That's early. That's late.
I know, but
I'm tailgating experience.
Well, I don't know what time. You're right. Well, I don't know what time the game is.
If it's a 1 o'clock game, you got to be there like 7, 8 o'clock.
I don't know if anybody's going to listen at 7 a.m., but
probably not.
We'll have the live stream going. It'll be like an 8-hour live stream.
That'd be fun. That would actually be a lot of fun.
All right, that's all I got on this upcoming game here. I mean, go Bills. We'll see. We'll see what they do tomorrow. I think it'll be a similar game though, like you said, to the Jets. All right, some other NFL news here. We'll talk last Thursday's game. Packers beating the Commanders 27-18. Green Bay is looking like the best team in the NFC at this point. Micah Parsons seems to be making a difference on that team defensively. Offensively, I've said it before, I think Green Bay is kind of like a miniature version of the Bills offensively, where they have a good quarterback, no real stud wide receivers, a good running game, and then their defense I think is way better than our defense, but similar offensively. They're cruising through teams right now. Are the Packers the team that beat in the NFC?
I would probably lean more towards Philadelphia still. Philadelphia look good. Well, they're the defending Super Bowl champions.
They just haven't looked as good as I think Green Bay in their 2 games.
I just keep it's again, it's only 2 games.
I'm just saying right now. I'm saying as of now, 2 games. I don't like how Philly's played in 2 games. I'm not talking about last season. I'm not talking about defending Super Bowl. I'm saying after 2 games, I'm picking Green Bay over Philly.
Okay, after 2 games, I would probably pick Green Bay to beat Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. If it came down to Philadelphia and Green Bay in the NFC Championship game, I'd probably lean more towards Green Bay from what I've seen now. But the Eagles do this all the time too. They did this last year. They started out, they were a sneaky 8-0 team last year. A lot of people forget they were 8-0 to start the season.
I don't remember that
because
that whole division was good.
They weren't good games. Well, no, maybe, not really. I mean,
Detroit and Minnesota.
I'm talking about Philadelphia's.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Philadelphia. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the Philadelphia.
I was going to say, I don't think Green Bay was 8-0 last year.
No, Philadelphia started out 8-0, but they were a quiet 8-0 because they weren't winning games like heavily. They weren't blowing people out. They were kind of just they were playing. They got some wins. They were playing. They just kept winning. And there's already a lot of people complaining about that tush push. Because there people are saying now they're watching 2 offensive guards jump before the snap. And it's like, okay,
that is true. They got, I think
that'll probably be gone next year.
I think the officiating's they want to keep that shit in there. They got to get real tight. They got to tighten down on these tush pushes because I think it's the first time that I've noticed it because television noticed it where 2 offensive linemen jumped and that was a false start. But there's probably been other times where it's been close and they just don't call it either because that. I don't think they watch that. It's basically everybody moves kind of at once type of deal. So, I don't think it'll be gone next year. I think they'll keep it alive.
I bet you.
Maybe another year. Chiefs dropped their 2nd straight game, losing the Super Bowl rematch to the Eagles. Just talked about the Eagles. They lost 20-17. Some questionable calls in that game. We just said about the tush push on the goal line, false start, not called. Worthy could be back this week. Now, last week he gets hurt. Sorry, 2 weeks ago he gets hurt. I'm thinking he's out 6 weeks. That's the way they were making the scene. Like this was going to be a long-term injury.
He's gone for a while.
Yeah. Right. Now they're saying it's not guaranteed, but he could be back as soon as this week coming up. Huge for them. They need it. They need a spark because they're already out Rashee Rice for another 4 more weeks or 5 more weeks till week 7. This would be big if Worthy comes back, but they're playing the Giants Sunday night or Monday night. It's one of the prime
Sunday night
football. Primetime game. It's in New York.
Means nothing for Kansas City.
Doesn't, but it helps. It helps the Giants out. If they can get Worthy back, I think the game will be more entertaining, and I think they actually have a chance. If Worthy doesn't play, I can see the Giants upsetting here, just based off the fact that Russ looked incredible last week, and they almost upset the Cowboys, a divisional opponent, putting up what they put up 40, right? They went to overtime. Dude throws 400 something yards.
I think it was 34 or 37 in overtime. Yeah.
So, look, Russ shows these flashes where he can still throw the ball.
Yep.
Malik Neighbors looked incredible. He had some unbelievable catches in that game. Their defense, poo-poo. But I don't think Kansas City's offense is that explosive this year, especially without, their top 2 guys. So that's why I said this could be a sneaky upset one. I'll make a decision when we get to the pick'ems, but like you think about it, it could be a sneaky upset.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, listen, as the Kansas City, who is a divisional or in our division, like AFC wise conference. Thank you. In our conference, they go 0-3. The Bills go 3-0. We're sitting pretty, looking toward that number one spot and getting that first round bye, which the Bills have never had in the Josh Allen era, which would be nice to see.
It would be nice.
Get them on the wild card already. Get them a little bit of rest going into the divisional game. Sign me up for that.
I agree. Colts remain undefeated. Probably the biggest surprise at the start of the season. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, but I think we're going to go with the new name that the fans have been calling him, Indiana Jones.
I love it.
It's awesome.
I absolutely love it.
That is so good.
I love it. Shout out to Indiana.
Indiana Jones, dude. Yeah. Great movie. He's playing out of his mind right now. Like I said, it's definitely the biggest surprise this season. He's in the right system. He's got the right weapons around him. The defense is playing well. Now, I think he opened, I think they're back-to-back home games, so this is the first time he'll be playing on the road. But, Jesus, man, the Colts, nobody had that on their bingo card starting 2-0 the season. No,
not at all, especially how bad they looked last year. A lot of people questioned, why is Daniel Jones starting over Anthony Richardson? Mm-hmm. And it's starting to look like the right call. They're starting to look like 100%. Geniuses for that. Anthony Richardson obviously hasn't looked the greatest, in his pro career so far.
Yeah.
But Daniel Jones didn't look the greatest after, the one season they got him paid in New York.
Yeah.
And then he sits behind Sam Darnold last year in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then he gets picked up by Indianapolis, and all of a sudden, he just looks like an actual quarterback again. It's crazy how that stuff works. Like Sam Darnold had a resurgence. Baker Mayfield had a resurgence. Geno Smith. Sometimes all it takes is,
change of scenery.
You're on a bad team. You're going to go to a better team, realistically, because they've got some offensive weapons. Tyler Warren's a stud for a tight end. Jonathan Taylor is still Jonathan Taylor. He had a couple years where he was injured. They got Michael Pittman Jr. They got Josh Downs. They've got weapons, and their defense doesn't look horrible.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, it's tied right now between Ibuka and Tyler Warren, I think.
I think Ibuka is probably going to...
As of right now, it's close. We'll see what happens as the season progresses. The only thing that Tyler Warren doesn't have to worry about competition. If Godwin comes back, Ibuka might have to worry about that.
Yeah, you're right.
Although I think at this point, they might as well just keep him as the 2 and then have Godwin play the slot. I think Godwin's his physique and his route running, I think, suit the slot better. He's a smaller, shiftier kind of guy.
You got to remember they paid him too, though. So they're going to make sure
it's fine. They'll just run 3 wideouts. They'll just run 3 wideouts because Cade Otton's ass, so it's not like they need a tight end all the time out there.
Right, that's true.
He could just block. Fuck. I think they'll run a lot of 3 wideout sets. They've been doing it now with Sterling Shepard, and he's getting catches.
Yeah,
he's getting like 3 catches a game. So, Jesus, if you could plug in Chris, if he's healthy, if you could plug in a healthy Chris Godwin over Sterling Shepard, I'll take that.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Bengals win a close one over the Jags, 31-27. You got to wipe the sweat off your brow on that. But not without injury. Burrow could miss at least 3 months, turf toe. Is this another wasted year for Cincy? Like it almost feels like it right now. They have no offensive line. They paid T. Higgins, which they did not need. They should have fucking let him go, dude. You do not need T. Higgins. That money should have went to the O-line. And Trey Hendrickson, I think, are way more important. If you're going to go tier list here, O-line, Trey Hendrickson, then T. Higgins in that order.
Totally agree.
Look, you paid Chase. He's obviously the best, if not the second best receiver in the league. They could have got anybody else to fill on that other side.
Yeah.
Anybody else. Literally. And I think Chase is still going to get his numbers, and that other guy is going to be effective because Chase is going to get his numbers and be double teamed. So Andre Yoshivas is their third guy. He could have been, honestly, if they didn't even go pick anybody up, could have played, because that's what he did last year when Higgins was hurt for like 5 games.
Right.
So I don't know. I think the Bengals, yes, I'm answering my own question, but I think it might be a wasted year.
It's looking like it right now. Yeah, they snuck that win out against the Jags, but
which is something you don't want to say.
No,
Sneak a win out
exactly.
against the Jags.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be saying that. So it sucks for Burrow. I Joe Cool 2.0. It's just one of those things that's like every year it seems like he's got this new injury. And they even let him play in the preseason this year because he wasn't playing in the preseason before that, and he was getting hurt in the regular season. So they're like, okay, well, let's change it up. Let's get him some reps in the preseason. Now he's got turf toe.
It's honestly, and I don't think it's not necessarily like he needed reps, although that helps, but that's not going to prevent injury. It's, dude, you're going in the preseason. I don't think guys, even other teams, are going 110%. I don't think anybody wants to injure somebody in the preseason. Shit happens, but I don't think that's, nobody's going that full 110% in the preseason.
No,
maybe they are because there's some guys that are trying to make the team, but we got some comments.
Oh, our video wasn't working according to a YouTuber.
Is it frozen?
It's frozen.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, gotta love it.
All right, let's take a gander.
Shout out to Moto Mafia for letting us know.
Looks like it's right here. It's working.
It's working on the thing.
Oh, no. Wait.
I
wish I could do like a...
I'm going to close out the app and open it back up. Maybe that's what you got to do.
Look how... We're like... Why are we like so far behind there? Why does that say... who knows? Close it out. Bring it back in.
Let's see what we got here. Set this live. It's still frozen.
Is it really?
Yeah, so this is fun.
Well, wait. Hold on. I think I saw a setting down here, the latency settings, and I might be able to change that. Won't get too carried away with this, but we'll see. Could have swore I saw latency somewhere on here.
I think I saw it too. If you click on it and scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay. I can't mess with it.
Can't mess with it now that we're already live. Well, that's fun. I wonder how long we've been...
No, it caught up 42 minutes, 50 seconds, around there. Damn, dude. I wonder if...
You gotta hit close. There you go.
There it is.
Oh, it's Frankie the Fish. Gotta love it. What's up, Frankie?
All right, guys.
Thanks a lot, YouTube. I don't even know if it's YouTube. Is it anything on the OBS software?
No, it's definitely not the OBS. Oh, wait, it is the OBS.
Did OBS crash?
You know what it could be? It could be the camera. We could try. Bear with us. I'm plugging it back in. And maybe that'll work.
That's the old IT trick there.
And maybe that'll work.
That's the first thing you got to do is unplug it and plug it back in.
It's frozen on there, though, but let's see.
All right. I'll keep chatting over here while you're doing some IT work over here.
USB connected.
Oh, man. This guy's first time here.
Hold on,
Thought
dude.
this was the production. Just picture and voice in the back. Whoop, that's not our normal forte. Sorry about that.
Hey, we're back, boys and girls.
Hey, look at that.
See, look, I just got to
unplug the camera.
plug it back in. That shit works.
The crazy part is I have the stream open, and I didn't even see the video. I was just seeing if people were chatting or not.
The best part is, like, I don't edit anything after these videos, so it's going to be frozen for however long it was frozen. It's going to be unplugged for however long it was unplugged, and we're going to be back live again. And that's how it goes. Uploaded to Spotify and Apple Podcasts after the live feed is done.
Yeah, so if
Zero editing.
Well, hopefully the people don't tune out after the video freezes if they're watching this on YouTube after the fact, but
What does that say? You good?
There
I
it
can't
goes.
read.
Yeah, there
All
it
right.
goes. We're back.
We're live, boys. All right, back at
Thanks,
it.
Frankie, for
Yeah, thanks, Frankie.
because I never would have saw that if you didn't say that. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. All right, and I just wanted to finish up on the NFL news with just the overall QB injuries that have
There's
been
a ton of
happening.
them.
Joe Burrow, we just talked about. Justin Fields with a concussion. Jaden Daniels, not confirmed out, but Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy, and Brock Purdy, 5 starting QBs, all listed as either questionable or out. I mean, the biggest one obviously is Joe Burrow. That's huge. I think J.J. McCarthy, fine. He didn't look great even in the win week 1. Last week didn't look good at all. Brock Purdy, Mac Jones stepped in last week, threw 3 touchdowns and a few hundred yards. Looks like he didn't miss a beat there. And then Jaden Daniels, also a guy that started the season kind of slow. If he doesn't play, it's Marcus Mariota stepping in, dude. There's a name.
Former number 2 overall pick. Or
Oregon Duck.
1?
Oregon Duck, too.
That's right. Former Tennessee Titan great.
Out of all those quarterbacks, though, I mean, I think that the Burrow, obviously, without, not Burrow, but out of those other 4 quarterbacks remaining, I think the biggest loss here is probably Jaden Daniels, because I think he needs, if he doesn't play, I think he needs to play.
Yeah.
Him and McLaurin haven't been on the same page. Debo's kind of stepped in as their number 1 right now, and it's weird because he's the older receiver. He's the more kind of like gadget receiver anyways. They use him in the run game a lot.
Right.
I was expecting big things from Terry McLaurin this year to start the season. He's done ass. It's probably his holdout earlier.
I was just going to say.
Didn't get the reps in with Jaden. And Jaden had such a good rookie season too.
Great rookie season. And he needed McLaurin. McLaurin really propelled that rookie season.
Yes.
And the fact that they took so long to pay him, where he held out of practice or held into practice, however that worked out. But they got him, back probably too late to, get in game shape. I think they'll be okay as long as Jaden Daniels gets healthy and stays healthy. I think they'll start clicking again. But yeah, the quarterback injuries this week are absolutely insane. A fun stat that I saw, though, the last time the 49ers had 2 different quarterbacks open up the season, week 1 and week 2 with 2 different quarterbacks, was 1988. Can you guess the quarterbacks?
No.
Joe Montana, Steve Young. You know what they did that year? They won the Super Bowl. It was with Joe Montana. Are we saying Brock Purdy's going to come back and he's going to lead them to the Super Bowl this year?
Absolutely not, dude. No
almost
way.
Almost 40 years later.
Well, Ayuk could come back this year. C-Mac stays healthy this year.
Kittle's got to come back healthy.
Kittle comes back later in the
They've
year.
got a great defense.
Defense is still top notch. If all the pieces come back and everybody's healthy, which is honestly, that's hard to do because the later you get in the season, you're going to have other injuries pop up. Juwan Jennings has already been playing hurt both weeks.
Yeah.
He's got a hamstring or something fucking wrong with him.
Ricky Pearsall, probably the only quarterback.
He's the only healthy
receiver,
wide receiver right now. The only healthy name I know on that offense right now. So I can see that definitely being a thing. All right, let's get into our pick'ems here. I'll throw up on the...
You going to throw up?
Yeah, I'm going to throw up, dude.
This beer probably isn't sitting well. It's not very good.
I'm going to put up last week's record real quick because Jeff killed it.
Love to see that.
Let's see what we got here. All right. Week 2 here, guys. Went 11-5. Jeff 15-1. We both got our bonus bets right here. I took Eckler under 22.5 rushing. Jeff took Jacobs over 69.5 rushing. We both hit our Eckler. That was a lock. Dude.
That was an absolute
lock. It was a lock, and he got hurt for the season. So it was actually a mega lock on top of that.
He had 17 yards at that point before he got hurt. He might not have.
They weren't running the ball with it. They were down by 2 scores, and they couldn't move the ball on the ground. Even Bill.
Yeah,
Bill didn't even do shit that game either. So that was all Green Bay though. But damn, dude, 15-1. What was your only loss? Do you remember what it was?
Minnesota.
The Minnesota game.
And I think maybe if JJ, because that was an all field goal game. I feel like until the very end. Like I don't think anybody had a real touchdown until late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been a JJ maybe comeback if.
Maybe because he played better in the second half of
his
first start. So I was thinking maybe he was going to come back and work some magic. He's got Justin Jefferson, one of the best quarterback or wide receivers in the game.
Justin Jefferson, the best quarterback in the game.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're going to get into this upcoming week here. We'll start things off. Obviously, we're both going with the Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football here. I'll circle that. Sunday games kick off. Indy at Tennessee. I mean, I got to keep going with Indy right now, man. They're on a streak. Tennessee hasn't looked good. No. However, this is the first road game for Indy. Not 100% shocked if they lose this one. Tennessee's not a good team, but you never know, dude. On the road, maybe he gets something. I don't know, dude. I'm going Indy. I'm going against that. I'm also going Indy. It's got to be Indy.
I'm going Indy as well.
Pittsburgh, New England.
This could be a toss-up.
Ooh, it really is. I'm actually going to go New England at home on this one.
I wanted to do that. Did you? I have to go, because Pittsburgh didn't look the greatest last week.
They've given up 30 in back-to-back games, dude. Their defense has not looked good.
Subpar teams. T.J. Watt hasn't looked the greatest either. His name, he's usually the different. T.J. Watt normally wins them games, and all they needed was a quarterback. They get their quarterback. Aaron Rodgers actually looked pretty good the last couple of weeks. He's not losing them the game. So, but I'm going to go with New England in this one.
I didn't even realize because I got these picks from a different website. So let's just go off the screen here because people are going to follow along here. We're skipping around.
Okay.
Falcons and Panthers. Got to go Falcons on the road. Michael Penix Jr.
Whoa. Penix.
That's him, dude. I got to go ATL. Carolina, dude. They're going to win one. They're going to win one.
Something's telling me to pick Carolina. I'm going to go with Carolina on this one.
I like it. You went 15-1 last week. You can afford to fuck around here.
You know what? I'm not trying to fuck around. I really think Carolina could win this game because Atlanta didn't look very good against a team that
looked terrible,
didn't have their starting quarterback.
No, they didn't look good.
So,
and it's a divisional game.
Yeah, and they're not in the dome.
That's actually not a bad pick. If you get this Carolina pick, that's pretty good. All right, Packers at the Browns.
Well, this isn't obvious.
Green Bay all the way. There's no way, unless Quidshot Judkins has 300 yards on the ground, there's no way, dude.
There's already talks about Joe Flacco getting pulled because they've got Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. They got to figure out which one of them, if any of them, are going to be the quarterback of the future.
So
Flacco's not going to be around much longer.
Real quick, though, this is what I think I might have brought this up in our preseason episode, that they weren't going to start Shedeur because they had a tough schedule to start the first 4 games, and they didn't want to throw Shedeur in the fire right away. Because listen to this though, if Shedeur starts 0-4 to start the season, bust. They don't play him. They bench him. It's almost a wasted pick at that point. If you start Joe Flacco and he goes 0-4, they protect Shedeur. Shedeur comes in, wins the next 2 games. Now they look genius. Yeah. They look genius by doing that.
It saves some jobs.
It does.
Stefanski's going to keep his job. The GM will keep his job. Actually, he shouldn't have kept his job after they paid Deshaun Watson all that money.
Deshaun. Texans at the Jaguars. Another divisional game here. Jesus Christ. Texans are 0-2, but I think they get the win here this week. I'm gonna keep with the Texans on this one. There's no way. Nico Collins had fucking 2 catches on Monday night, dude. 2 catches. How? And the one was a crazy touchdown catch, like kept toe tapped in. 2 catches. CJ Stroud will find a way, get Nico more involved. Chubb looked good on the ground. Eventually, it took him some time, but he broke one loose in the fourth quarter. Give me the Texans.
I'm rolling with Jacksonville on this one.
Ooh.
Home team. They've actually been able to put up some decent points the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to go with Jacksonville on this one. They played a very good game against Cincinnati.
All right, Bengals and the Vikings. Bengals 2-0, Vikings 1-1. Look at Carson Wentz. Insert Carson Wentz.
Who would have thought Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning?
This is a Bengals, game that Vikings. Nobody had on their bingo card.
Nope.
Yeah, Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz. I gotta go Jake Browning.
Yeah,
proven, dude.
I was thinking the same thing. Minnesota didn't look very good against the Bears 2 weeks ago.
No.
It took them till the second half to win that game, or potentially the Bears lost that game. Minnesota didn't look good against Atlanta, who also didn't look good. I got to go with Cincinnati, who actually held their own when Jake Browning came in. I think Jake Browning's a serviceable backup.
Also, battle the top 2 wide receivers, Chase and Jefferson, too. That it would be great if we had the starting quarterbacks to see some full potential here.
That'd be a lot of fun.
But I think I still got to give the edge to Cincy here. I got a lot of road teams right now I'm picking. We already talked Steelers. Rams at the Eagles. 2-0 versus 2-0. I already said I didn't like how the Eagles started this year. Yes, they're the defending Super Bowl champs. I'm going to go Rams, if you want to call it the upset, on the road here.
I'm going with the Rams, too, just because they should have won that game last year. They should have won the divisional game against the Eagles last year. If it wasn't for that Matt Stafford interception on the final drive, they probably go down, kick that field goal or even a touchdown and win that game. And like we said, Philadelphia hasn't looked fantastic. If it wasn't for Travis Kelce having a pass go through his hands for an interception, Kansas City probably wins that game. So I'm also going to go with the Rams on this one.
That's shocking.
I think the Rams are actually a pretty good team.
I do too. This is an easy one. Jets at the Bucks. Give me the Bucks at home. Bucks by $1 billion. We already talked Colts, Titans, Raiders, Commanders. Both teams 1-1. Raiders got to travel to the East Coast here, if you want to call it that. I guess. DC's East Coast, I guess.
Yeah. They're not far from the ocean.
No. This is tricky. So if Mariota is in there,
I know that's what
I don't know. If Jaden Daniels plays, I give it to Washington. If Mariota plays, I want to give the lean to the Raiders. I would love to have that flexibility, but we can't because that's how this works. So I'm going to assume
Jaden Daniels is playing and we're picking Washington.
Jaden Daniels is playing. I read your mind,
dude, because I said the exact same. I was thinking the exact same thing. Jaden Daniels doesn't play.
I need him to play because I'm playing you in fantasy this week, by the way.
Oh, you're smell my finger?
Yeah.
Why is that your fucking...
We switch it up every year.
Okay.
And I got Terry McLaurin, who has looked awful, like I've been saying. So I need him to have a game finally. Broncos, Chargers, we're in the 4 o'clock games, folks. Broncos 1-1. Chargers surprised 2-0 to start the season. Looking like the best team in that division. Statistically, I think they are.
Yeah.
I gotta go Chargers on this one.
I'm going Denver on this one.
Really?
I'm going Denver on this one. I think
Denver almost lost to Titans on a field goal that shouldn't even have happened because there was an offsides, dude, last week. Colts. Sorry. Oh, still. Yeah. No, the Colts
won.
The Colts won. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've got my games mixed up.
Yes, Denver should have won, but they got the offside.
You're right.
Yeah, so Denver should have won that game. So I'm going with Denver in this one.
Yeah, it was close.
Divisional game.
I think this is
I probably should lean more towards the home team. But the fact that the Chargers playing in LA, they don't have fans. And 90%.
This is your argument. They don't have fans.
Well, I just feel like when the Chargers play at home, it's more so. It's an away game because the away teams travel. Like you watch a Chargers game, they got 40 fans there. It feels like.
I mean, it's a divisional game, so I think there's going to be fans. There's going to be a good amount of Bronco fans regardless.
Yeah. And the Broncos are good. They're one of those staple NFL teams. They've got fans everywhere. You know, the John Elway years, people were fans just because of John Elway.
I got you.
And then they got the new.
I'm not mad at that one. That could go either way.
That could go either way. But I'm leaning towards Denver because I think Denver's looked.
No, don't say they look better. I think the Chargers.
How did the Chargers do last week? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm basing this off of. I don't even know what the Chargers did last week. But I like what the Broncos have done. I think.
They played because I didn't watch the game because I went to bed because it was at 10 p.m.
That's right. That was
the Raiders game, and they smoked them 20-9. Granted, it's the Raiders, but also
them. 20 points isn't smoking somebody.
Smoked them. They didn't score a touchdown, brother. 3 field goals. The Raiders.
That's not smoking.
That's
somebody.
Elite defense.
30-9. I'll call it smoking. 30-20.
11-point win.
20-3.
Double digits. So
barely 2 scores.
Saints at the Seahawks, 0-2 Saints. I can't pick again. Hey guys, if you're in Survivor Pool, pick against the Saints every week. You might win your league. Yeah. Give me the Seahawks at home, dude. That's an easy one, chalk. Cowboys at the Bears. I shouldn't even be thinking about this right now.
Yeah, I'm going with Dallas though.
But
you going with Chicago?
I don't know. They start 0-3. Did the Bears start 0-3?
Yeah, they're not good. Caleb Williams looks like shit.
No, he doesn't look like shit. I think they're just, I don't know. I think it's coaching. I really still think the coaching is not good on that team. Fuck, dude. Give me the Cowboys. I'm picking with you on this one. I don't want to lose this one. Cardinals 2-0 against the 49ers 2-0. Nobody thought the Cardinals would be 2-0 either. I mean, Mac Jones looked really good last week for coming in off the bench there cold. Dude, better defense. Give me the 49ers at home.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the defense on the 49ers is really good.
I think the Cardinals are like a fake 2-0. They could easily be 1-1 or 0-2. Like their games, who do they play?
Couldn't even tell you because I don't pay attention.
Nobody cares about the fucking Cardinals. And then the Sunday night game, Chiefs, I'll say this, the 0-2 Chiefs versus the 0-2 Giants. Do we go
are
upset alert
it?
here? Again, it's if Worthy doesn't play, I feel a lot better than if he does play. Although we have to pick this under the assumption, maybe he will, maybe he won't. We got to pick it now. Give me the Giants.
Oh, I'm going Kansas City on this one.
I mean, if you have it in your favor, there's no way the Giants start 0-3. Or the Chiefs start 0-3. It just doesn't even look right on paper. Like I can't even say 0-3.
You can't say Patrick Mahomes 0-3 in his career.
You can't say Patrick Mahomes 0-3, but Russ, dude. Look at Russ. There's a lot of what ifs here. Russ has a game like he had last week. They win the game.
Okay.
He puts the team on his back. All right, and the Monday night game here. This is a great game of the week.
Yeah.
Calling it right now. Well, it's the last game. Lions 1-1, Ravens 1-1. Both teams could have been 2-0.
Yeah,
but the Lions got embarrassed week 1, and the Ravens got embarrassed week 1. They both rebounded in week 2. Ravens, great defense at home. Lions on the road here. What do we do here? I got to go Ravens, I think, on this. I got
to go Ravens,
I think the Ravens are this could have been whoever was the home team, maybe I would have picked.
Probably.
But I think
I'd like to see the spread on this.
It's
got to be like 1.5.
It's probably 1.5. I'll look it up in a second. Let me circle my thing.
I'm circling the Ravens as well.
We're both going Ravens.
Look up that
real quick. We'll look up the spread before I get to our prop bet here. NFL Ravens, where are they at? They're over here somewhere. Ravens.
Did I show you the spread on there on ESPN?
Yeah, it will. But okay. It'll probably be different than the like DraftKings or something because it's going to be their own spread. But let's just see what the ESPN shows. 4.5.
Wow.
So give me the Lions with the points. Maybe is this a field goal game or less?
Looks like it.
High-powered offense. I give the edge of defense to the Ravens.
I actually get the edge to the defense to the Lions, though, which is
crazy
that I'm not picking the Lions.
That's why I said, I think Lions with the points could work, but I don't know. I said after we beat the Ravens that they were the second-best team in the league, but now I think it's going to be Green Bay, and I think the Ravens are probably third, and I got Philly at, 5th. I think I might have another team ahead of them even. All right, real quick, let's do our prop bet here. Again, we both last week got ours right. What are you going with here?
I'm going tomorrow's game under 238.5 passing yards. Under 238.5 passing yards.
Jeff's got the under on Tua's passing yards again. Yeah, these are for Thursday night props. Just because I looked and not all the Sunday games have everything loaded, so. I wanted to actually go Daniel Jones prop. I don't think Indy had their props loaded in right now.
Well, the reason we're going
with
Thursday games is because they're already locked and loaded while we're doing this podcast or right before.
That's what I just said.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I was looking over just to make sure we're not frozen still. It's just one of those things where we don't get we're not really going to see a Monday night prop bet. We're not going to see all of the prop bets for even the late games on Sunday. So. It just makes it easier for us to get a full slate of picks that we can choose from instead of being there's nothing really for passing for, whoever, Joe Schmo.
I think also, okay, so you took Tua under. I'm taking James Cook over 68.5 rushing yards. I actually creeped up. I think it was at 67.5 before the start of the podcast. Don't care. The guy's been on fire. He had over 100 yards last week. And another bad opponent here. I can see us getting a comfortable lead and just relying on the run game and finishing this one off. So lock me in for that. And honestly, the toss-up would be because if we wanted to add a third one in there, you like the under on the game. I like the over on the game, though. So
do you want to do the same bet and then do another bet where I pick the under, you pick the over?
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do that. It'd be fun.
I think so. I think. Yep, that's all I had on here.
All right. Wow. We did a podcast.
An hour and 10 minutes. We're getting a little closer to that hour 15, hour 10.
Hour and 10 after
we
more like an hour and 5 because the technical difficulties and then the more technical difficulties later into the podcast, which, again, shout out to Frankie the Fish for, showing that up for us and, helping us fix that real quick. Even though he didn't actually help us fix it, he helped us point it out.
Absolutely. All right, guys. With that being said, I'm Mikey D.
I'm Jeff.
We out.
Go Bills.